Hi, it's Monday, the 24th of February. You never know these days, years are going so fast. Anyway, it's Monday, the 24th of February, and we're here to look at the current astrology. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go directly to today's chart and we can talk our way around that. So, I'm just going to share with you. There we go. Here we go. Right. This is set for the UK. And it's early evening here, and so the sun, which goes all the way around the sky during the day, is over here to set. This is the west, and so it's going to set shortly. Okay, so the sun is at 6 degrees of Pisces, and we also have in Pisces Mercury at 18 and Saturn at 20. Excuse me, and Ceres has just entered Pisces also. That's an important move for Ceres, actually. Ceres is a significator of the primordial feminine. So she represents the part of feminine that deals with the growth of seeds through to what they must become. So seeds into seedlings, into young plants, into old plants, then they wither and die, and the seeds fall to the earth, and then the next season they come up again. Now, this goes for vegetation, but it also goes for human seed as well. So she's also part of the cycle of human beings, particularly females and the reproductive cycle. So um, a baby becoming a toddler, becoming a young maiden, becoming a mother herself, becoming an old crone, etc. So she walks with us through all of those life stages um, where we experience loss. So parent-child bonds and losses there, but also when we walk into the underworld and then are reborn. So this is very much a symbol of being reborn and a reminder that life goes on and it's a cycle. In Aquarius, um, yeah, sure, Ceres is not unhappy in Aquarius, but when Ceres comes into Pisces, she is taking part in the dissolution, the final zodiac sign of the zodiac belt. And so consequently, she's very much at home with the coming down, the period of dissolving everything, the great dissolution, ready to be reborn again into Aries, the first zodiac sign. Okay, so Mercury. I just want to talk briefly about this because Mercury is moving quickly and is going to be by Saturn's in the same part of the sky as Saturn at 20 degrees tomorrow or the next day. Um, Mercury has difficulty with Saturn. We've got two things affecting Mercury here now. So Mercury is in Pisces, where words are incredibly confusing. Now, the only way to really kind of image this is to imagine a scuba diver at the bottom of the ocean, and he has his aqualung on, and he's trying to communicate, and his words simply get lost in the air bubbles and fly to the surface. You can't hear much, you can't tell, you can't work out what the communication is about. So we've got confused communication, all very fanciful, whimsical, um, very foggy and difficult to get clarity. But as Mercury approaches Saturn, then we get a planet which is making demands of Mercury in terms of you must make things clear. And also, Saturn tends to be the great testing of time or the testing of whatever. So Saturn is going to be testing Mercury's accuracy, Mercury's clarity, and Mercury's ability to communicate with structure deftly. Well, we're in Pisces. So we've got confusion here because we've got Pisces with its dissolving and its lack of clarity and its usual, what can I say, deceitfulness. Not intentional sometimes, just can't. Just Pisces is so willing to say what the person in front wants to hear, that they will sort of say anything just to keep the peace, really. And that is not what the air planet of Mercury is all about. So we've got Pisces distorting things, and then we've got Mercury feeling the pressure of Saturn's demand to be precise, to be somber, to be organized, but most of all, to be responsible, to be pragmatic and prosaic, and to be prepared to be tested and say the things that should be said. And it's a bit like that fact checking that is so popular now. Saturn is going to fact check Mercury. Okay, now at the same time, we have had the moon in Capricorn. So Capricorn, very dour, makes life uncomfortable. The moon is sort of happy in Capricorn because there is some familiarity with the sign. The moon rules Cancer. Cancer is the opposite sign to Capricorn. The moon is used to this axis of Capricorn Cancer, which is at the end of the day is dealing with families and unconditional love, and then authority and conditional things, the things that are make demands and conditions. Okay, now it's by tomorrow, later on, the moon is going to move out of Capricorn. But by then, Mercury will be approaching Saturn. So we've got Capricorn influence, and then we've got Mercury conjuncting Saturn influence. So we've got a couple of days of um, I could almost say depressing thoughts, because the expectations are not being met, and there are different conflicting demands, and so no expectation can be met. One thing I think probably that is clear here is that things will become more stark. Things will become more depressing in as much as we may want there to be some earthy factual stuff and it's not there, but there is a demand for it, and so it is going to get kind of quite sort of laden. um, if you are dealing with words that have something to do with agreements, etc., then this will slow things down, but it will also make things quite pedantic. It will allow a time when it can be precise, because though that Earth, the Capricorn Earth, and then the Saturnian Earth, is going to make it pedantic and also going to make it clear as it can be in Pisces anyway. But it's not going to be a comfortable time, let's put it like that. Okay. Juno has moved into Sagittarius, and so Juno is just going to be her furious and most obvious self now for the time that she's going through Sagittarius. Here is the sign that is ruled by her husband, Zeus, Jupiter, and the energy and the gung-ho approach is just her thing. She understands this, and so she's going to be quite loud and quite obvious with her. Well, let's put it this way: Juno is no fan of the human race. In fact, she hates it. she, Juno is fed up with her husband, who is always off with the Earth women, and so she has no time for humans whatsoever. So she's going to kind of enjoy herself, throwing herself around, I should imagine. Um, okay, so have we got anything else in here that we particularly need to see at the moment? No, we've got the closing square between Mars and Chiron here. Now Mars is stationed actually, so that's not going to get any closer now. So anyway, I'm sorry, I'm digressing there. I'm not going to cover that now. That needs more concentration because we've got the approaching conjunction with Eris, so I ought to leave that one alone for a moment. Okie dokie. So I think that's everything I can cover, to be honest with you today. I think that's all we need, really. I'm going to stop share. There we go. I think that's all we need, really. It's fairly depressing stuff. It's never going to be brilliant with the sun in Pisces and with the change in world order, politics, leadership, etc., that we've currently got on the cards. So I'm just going to leave you with those little pearls, say bye bye, and I'll see you soon. Thank you for tuning in.